When I was 5 years old, my mother approached me one blisteringly hot summer day, and two words came out of her mouth that would change my life forever. Baskin-Robbins. When you are 5 years old, the mere mention of ice cream is a magical experience. So you can imagine my excitement when the thermostat here in Bellevue peaked at 71 degrees that July. And faced with an impending meltdown, I was told I was being treated to some frozen goodness. We arrive at the store, and I'm already losing my mind. We go inside, order, and my entire body is actually quivering in anticipation as Mom hands me the cone. As we're walking to the car, I'm on an ice cream high like you wouldn't believe, and I haven't even had a taste yet. I'm so excited to dig in, I'm practically running. And that's when it happens. I look down at the ice cream cone for a brief second, and I'm whispering sweet nothings into its chocolatey goodness. When I hear Mom call out, "Andrew!" That's when I look up and I run full speed at eye level into the rearview mirror of a parked car. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have seen it coming. I mean, it was a mirror, but I digress. I dropped the ice cream and I fell hard. I looked up from the ground and time practically stood still, and in slow motion, I watched my ice cream cone plummet toward the earth. There was nothing I could do to save it. I laid on the hot pavement, bearing witness to the remains of my ice cream slowly disappearing into the storm drain, much like my will to live at that point. I was a hot, sticky mess. My face was on fire, and worst of all, no more ice cream. But all was not lost. Mom picked me up with a sympathetic smile. She borrowed a cool wet towel from the store and wiped me off with it. Once I was seated in the car, she disappeared for a brief moment. Then, like a superhero, she emerged from that Baskin-Robbins holding a replacement ice cream cone. A beam of light hit her, and angels began to sing. So all in all, not a bad day. I've fallen since then, and she has always been there to pick me up. Take my college experience, for example. No one takes 7 years to get a bachelor's degree and then says that it all went according to plan. But she took it all in stride. It didn't stop there, and it certainly did not stop with me. She devoted herself to picking people up every day. Friends, colleagues, thousands of kids she never even met. They all lived better lives because of things she did, both out front and behind the scenes. It was around the year 2000 that she went to an educators conference in Chicago. 9 years later, an unknown junior senator from that very same city was elected President of the United States of America. Coincidence? Probably a coincidence. However, the point is that good things happened wherever she went, and she changed people for the better. There's the case of Ryan, a student at Sunset Elementary School when she was a principal there. At the age of 8, his teachers were convinced that he was destined for a life in prison. He once destroyed Mom's office in a fit of rage. Today, he is actually studying to become a pastor. That's a true story, I promise. And look at me. 29 years ago, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, I couldn't even dress myself. Today, I hold a master's degree in business. I tied this tie almost all by myself. And I'm proud to say I'm even thinking of getting a job. I hear their openings at Taco Bell. Maude made me want to be a better person, yet she never made me feel inferior when it came to my shortcomings and quirky lifestyle. I had a tendency to call home about every 6 months and say, "Yeah, this isn't working out so much, I think I want to move." Tacoma, Las Vegas, Montana, Los Angeles, England, yet she understood that every step felt necessary to me. Every strange adventure I undertook, she supported, and she never asked why. When I announced that I wanted to go to film school rather than get a degree in something useful, she said, "Great, sounds like fun." When I wanted to drill into the ceiling of my bedroom to install a disco ball, she drove me to the store to buy it. When I played in a band in high school, she suggested buying me a drum set so I wouldn't have to borrow from a friend. And for years, I played that drum set as hard as I could in our basement, and if she died with one regret, that was probably it. When I wanted to spend thousands of dollars to learn to fly small, unreliable aircraft, mainly because it sounded like fun, she said, no. That one I did anyway, and that's what she got for teaching me to always follow my dreams. If you knew her, you knew a walking, talking example of optimism and dedication. She lived it every day, and you could see it in those around her. She was not only great, she inspired greatness in others. One such example was her good friend Jamie. Since her diagnosis in April of 2008, Mom had been in chemotherapy and radiation almost constantly. Janie picked her up, drove her, and sat with her for every single appointment for 3.5 years. They would go to lunch and a movie afterwards, and Mom referred to them as her spa days. So talk about making lemonade. Thank you very much, Janie. Mom's optimism was infectious. She inspired others to live their life with their glass half full, and because it was Mom, it was probably at least 3/4 full, and it was probably full of a fine red wine. She taught me to always find the silver lining and to not sweat the small stuff. When my car was broken into, I thought, it's only a stereo. When I once washed a pair of jeans that had a birthday check in it, I said, it's only money. When I failed a history class in college, I said, it's only my parents' money. She found the best in any bad situation and always saw a light at the end of the tunnel. Not once did I see her express anger because of her situation. She was not dying from cancer, she was living with it. This was a journey. She hadn't signed up for it, but she accepted that she was on it. And rather than calling her travel agent to complain, she praised him. And she trusted that he had a purpose for sending her down this road. We are a room full of very lucky people because we were fortunate enough to know such a beautiful person. Even facing a terminal illness, she gave back to the church, to the community, and to all of us. She changed our lives for the better. That said, because she was an educator, I don't feel that it would be fitting to send you all home without a homework assignment. The universe sent over the archives of good deeds that Mom had accomplished over time. This is October of 1974 through March of 1975. We'll just take a look at some of these here. For instance, here, we have volunteered a homeless shelter, buy fuel-efficient car to alleviate the gas crisis, tell that sweet sales girl at Sears that the beehive hairdo is no longer doing her any favors. The list goes on. In other words, take something good that she did and carry on that legacy. Or take a list from her, take a hint from her to-do list she'd updated since the 70s. For instance, here we have January of 2012. Increase tithes to the church. Knit 15 more hats for cancer patients. Solve world hunger. Any takers? In other words, continue to be inspired by her. Allow her to live on through you and keep that infectious optimism alive. Leave this room today with your glass half full. Make today your spa day. And make that a gift that you give to others the way that she did for a countless number of people throughout her life. It won't always be easy. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's going to make you mad. Sometimes it's going to feel like there's nothing that you can do to fix it. But when that happens, stop, take a deep breath. And remember Jane Zuber, a woman who, even as she lay in bed with a terminal illness, did it with a smile on her face and is smiling down at you now and is giving you a very big thumbs up. She taught all of us that no matter how hard we fall, no matter how much pain we feel, we can stand back up, we can brush ourselves off, and we can give back while embracing this journey with a smile. And fear not, because there is always plenty of Baskin-Robbins ice cream to go around for everyone. And no one taught me that better than my mother.